Okay. I just added my beauty mark. I have a mole, whatever you call it. I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to my mole. My whole life I've had this. It's a raised mole, and it used to be brown. I was working in a club when I was like 20, over 20, under 23. I don't remember the exact year, but I bought Nair, like hair remover for my face, and like this was back in the day, and like no woman ever admitted she had hair on her face. And so because nobody talked about it, like we all just secretly like tried different ways to get it off. And the hair on my face is like blonde, but I wanted to take it off. And so I bought Nair, and as soon I put it, I wiped it over my mole just a little bit. I don't know anything about Nair. I just read that it removes hair, and I read the directions, and it says nothing about molds. Yes, I read the directions because I actually like called Nair, guys. The second that I put Nair on my beauty mark, it started bubbling. Like when you put hydrogen peroxide, it just starts bubbling. It did that. My mole, and it was just bubbling my mole off. And I just watched in the mirror as my mole disintegrated. And I was like, there's no way. That just happened. This is way back in the day. In my early 20s was 2000, 2001, 2002. My age corresponds with the year. So in 2000, I turned 20, 2001, 21, 2002, 22. I don't remember. That was a really long time ago. You have to call, look things up, and phone book era. And I'm calling, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I don't do that. Like, I'm not a Karen. I don't call and complain. But I just watched my mole sizzle off of my face. There was nothing I could do. As it's sizzling, I tried to take a washcloth with warm water and take everything, just my mole. Nothing, no other part of my face showed any sort of reaction. So as I wipe off the sizzling mole, it just comes off like all the skin, and then I have a crater. I had a crater right here. Girl, and then the next day it had like a scab, a blood scab. So it looked like my mole. It was just a blood scab. Then the blood scab fell off, and it was just, the mole grew back, but it grew back the same color as my skin, like a light pink color. And so if I use liquid eyeliner, waterproof liquid eyeliner, and I just boom, dot it on to my mole. This one that I'm using is a Mexican makeup brand called, I don't know how to say it. Payadillo. It's weird. It's Mexican. Well, maybe it's not Mexican. It's sold in Mexico. It's sold here. I've never seen it before, but it's in English. But I know that name, the double L, you don't say Paladillo. The double L is like double L sound. Payadillo. Whatever. It's super cheap. Listen, it even has like the mixing balls. It's like 40 pesos. Are you kidding me? Anyways, I've used this ever since I moved to Mexico, and I just dot it on my mole. And it lasts all day. And I don't use black, I use dark brown. So, I've never told that story, ever. How embarrassing. Like, you don't understand the amount of devastation I had watching my beauty mark, my Madonna beauty mark that I had that was real, literally sizzle off of my face. Literally, I called Nair and I'm like in a fit because I'm crying, and they were just like, whatever, thanks, Nair. It's so funny. I've had a million people ask me because I have hair. I have hair on my arms. I just shave it, whatever. Waxing Nair has not been great for me. I've never used Nair again because my mole, like, it looked like a volcano. It was just sizzling, eating the mole, but it did not. And I have sensitive skin. And I had it on my face. I had it on my face, on my eyebrow. Your eyebrow skin, my eyebrow skin, the skin around my eyes is very sensitive. I had it there. Not one reaction. Why did my mole sizzle off? Violently. And like, people have moles. Nair is made for this particular one. I'm not an idiot. Was hair removal for the face. They have it for the armpits. They have it for every part. And I know that people have moles on their face, on their body. That's never happened to anyone else because there was no warning. And there was no sense of like, oh, we're sorry. Maybe they thought I was lying or they didn't care. Who knows? But it's not on the warning. It was not on the warning label because me personally, I'm super paranoid about especially new products. So I read the label like twice, and then I read the precautions. Like, don't use this if this, and that. It didn't have any precaution about avoid moles. So nothing ever came of it, and I never used Nair again. And when people know that I shave my arms, they're like, why don't you just use Nair? And I'm like, because I'm not ever putting that stuff on me again, which, yeah, so that's that. So the point of this is what I do to make myself kind of socially acceptable. I don't feel like, doing a full face. I don't want to put a lot of products on. I'll just do like a lip and put on my mole because when I don't dot it on there, it just looks like a pimple because it's pretty significant mole. It's just light pink. It just looks like I have a brewing pimple. Anyways, I gotta do the eyebrows next. Again, the hair on my face is not that much, and it's very scraggly. I don't have a lot. My eyebrows, you can tell. Thank you, Drew Barrymore and Pamela Anderson. I ripped out all of my eyebrows to look like y'all in the 90s. I'm talking by hand with tweezers, ripped my eyebrows out of my face. while I was on a plane going to visit my dad and sister in Texas. I used the California to Texas is 4.5 hour plane ride. It took me that 4.5 hours to rip out my eyebrows. And I just had the Drew Barrymore, Pamela Anderson line. And I rocked that. And my grandmother was actually so mad at me for doing that. How could you? It's never going to be the same. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't know. It's never been the same. I get like random hairs like here and here. It's the ends, nothing. I used to get my eyebrows waxed regularly in California, but I'm adjusting to a life where I have to do it myself. It's fine. You know what? I can do it. It's not hard, and it's not, I have the skill, but I just take a good pair of tweezers and tweeze out the strays. And then I use a little bit of eyebrow pencil. Normally I would have my eyebrows done. They wouldn't look so crazy. I need to like wait for them to get long enough for the tweezers to be able to pull out. I used to pay a waxer, and afterwards they would look amazing. And that waxer would like put on hair dye or whatever tint, and it looked like I had eyebrows. It was amazing. But I had to pay for it every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It looked great, but I don't have access to that service in my current situation, so I've got to rely on like a waterproof eyebrow pencil and my tweezers. It's fine. I just need to do that. Okay. Thank you for listening. And I did not talk about, like I was getting ready by putting on my mole, and then I thought like that would be a good time to tell the story of how and why I have to draw on my mole. And I've never told that story before, so thank you for listening. I was going to make another video about something else entirely, but my scattered brain thought of that story and thought, what a good thing to get off my chest, because every time I think about it, like I don't know about anyone else, but the more stuff that I keep secret and I feel like so embarrassed, it weighs on me, even if it's like the littlest thing. And I never share experiences, and I don't really have like a best friend or a mom or a husband that listens. Nobody. So I'm going to talk to you guys. And I know I can't be the only one who has these thoughts in my head. I'm going to try to let out the thoughts that I have in my head and assure myself that I'm not this like demented, because I have like a lot of guilt for all of the experiences that I went through, because I always thought like everything was my fault. And so slowly but surely, I'm starting to be like, oh, like this and that and this and that. This happened. Let's start looking at it in a different light so that you don't have to be embarrassed by literally everything. That is my goal. I would like to talk about situations and stories while sharing things that I am passionate about, which is makeup, skincare, hair care, exercise. I'm just gonna make the videos and share stories about things that I'm embarrassed about, while using things, all that. It's just, I need to stop rambling. Also, I am making videos so that I can watch them back and be like, girl, like, tell your story, but stop rambling. I have a very bad problem with rambling. But I think it's because this is the stuff that's just going on in my head. I can never say that I can't have a conversation about. Like, I'm in a point in my life right now where like I said, I don't have those connections where you can just call your friend, call your mom, call your husband, send a meme to someone. Like, I don't have any of those relationships going on. So I'm just hamster wheel in my head, about past, present, future, about everything. And it's kind of making me like depressed because I'm just stuck in my head. So why not share it, spit it out, learn how to express myself quickly and efficiently. That's what I'm doing. I know I can't be the only one. Hopefully I can contact with other people and help myself, help someone else. You know, that would just be the ultimate goal. So I'm going to stop rambling. Have a great day. Bye.